All right, folks, welcome back for another episode. I wanted to welcome my next guest. He is a return guest, a respected voice and rap OG out of Southern California, known for his lyricism and commanding presence on the mic. With a commanding delivery that cuts through any beat, he blends raw street perspective with thoughtful, battle-tested bars. Whether rocking a stage or cypher or on a track, he brings the kind of intensity that defines true hip hop. Welcome back to Gel Roc. How are you?
I'm good, man. I appreciate that. Those are some kind words, man, and I'm thankful.
Yeah, earned, not given. So good, man.
Word up.
Hey, thanks for the opportunity to listen to your new album way ahead of the release. You have Out of Style, Out of Service, 16 tracks on the album, drops April 3, produced by Ariano, and coming out on vinyl. Congratulations.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's gonna be we're excited about it. I'll say that, It's I don't know, man. Just keep doing records.
Yeah, how long was the album done before you actually sent it off for vinyl pressing?
Um, I actually have had this record in my hand since October of last year.
Oh shit.
Maybe September. I was planning on releasing it last October,
Yeah.
but I kind of felt like the environment was like the music landscape was just flooded with like a lot of activity, and something just told me, I don't know, this doesn't feel right. Let me pump the brakes and just push it into the next year, because sometimes it's a little tricky releasing albums that close to end of year. It's like it feels like a cutoff for some reason.
Yeah.
And I wanted fresh energy coming into the new year, and it enabled me to get tapes pressed. So we're doing tapes and
Okay.
shirts and the whole bundle thing.
Yeah, I could see that, man. I don't know if I have the patience like you. So good on
Well,
you.
yeah. Well, what I did is in place, I dropped the Love and War Stories project instead of, I kind of knew that I was going to just push this Out of Style, Out of Service album to 2026. And I put together Love and War Stories. I recorded a few songs and put that out at the end of last year, just so I have a project in 2025.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, that ended up being a really, you know, favorable project for me personally, because it was a different style as well.
Yeah.
And then when I went to put it out on streaming services, I had some issues clearing samples on a couple joints, so it ended up being a shorter EP on streaming services. But the whole thing lives on my Bandcamp.
Yeah, holy cow. And that's interesting point because as I listened through the album and the lyrics, it was really wasn't different. It was like the delivery was the same, but just I think the themes were a little different. And I'll go through it as we talk about the songs, but
Word.
oh, I was just yeah. I mean, I'm always impressed with your albums, but this one I was like, whoa, man, this is like on some like you have your albums that you do and then you have the top ones that people and fans know you for and I see this as one that's going to be one. So good.
Appreciate it,
Congratulations.
man. Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Hey, tell me real quick. So I know Ariano is a staple in the Southern California community. I've seen him on some tracks with Pause One back in the day. But do you have a relationship with him, or how'd you guys connect in creating this album?
So Ariano is, I think, primarily known for being like a vocalist. He sings on a lot of
Mhm.
hooks. I mean, he's a rapper. He's a dope artist in his own universe. He's the man. He's
Yeah.
always done really dope stuff. For a long time, we've sort of been on the peripheral
Okay.
of each other, kind of doing shows back in the day, maybe, and just knowing a bunch of people. And we've been on certain projects, even if we were just freestyling back in the day.
Yeah.
But he's always been an artist that I respected. Obviously, the feeling's mutual.
Hmm.
But he's done a lot of hooks. He's like a hook guy.
Yeah.
He has his own projects. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, like, a lot of people hit him up to be the hook guy too, because he sings, right? He's done stuff with
Yeah.
Pigeon John. He's done stuff with Merce and Tumex, and he's done shit like I think he's written some stuff for Snoop Dogg. He's definitely has his own niche carved out. And then I hit him up to do a song with me on my Lost Control album that I put out in 2024. And so when we did that, it was had live instrumentation, and he does a lot of, he has his own bands and musicians that he works with. He's a musician in his own right. So
Yeah.
when we did that song and he sang on the hook, it was pretty clear that that song had I probably a little bit more crossover appeal and potential, and
Yeah.
it kind of challenged me, like, how am I going to approach this beat but still do what I do and what I'm known for, and
That's a
I
good point.
liked I like it. I liked how it worked. There was a song called "Heavy As the Crown" on
Yeah.
Lost Control,
Okay.
and so then we and I had never worked with a male vocalist on a song, so I had him. I pegged him to do that,
Yeah.
like to sing on the hook, and so then he hit me up after that and was just like, "Yo, I got beats, man. We should keep building because
Yeah.
this is a dope song." And then
Uh-huh.
I was on the tour with Micah Nine and AWOL for the West Coast, run that we did.
Okay.
And he sent me a beat and I worked on it pretty quickly, and then
Yeah.
we just kept building, dude. And then,
That's crazy.
I know that his mindset and kind of his trajectory and how he wants to approach his craft is not, underground per se. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He has a different approach to what he's trying to do. And
Yeah.
I just felt like, you know what? I've always felt like I'm a product of my environment, and that includes production. So how can I keep,
Yeah.
you know, getting to different levels? And I thought he fit the bill.
So you say something very interesting. You talk about, he's got his own style in his own right, and he is the heavy hitter in the environment of music that he creates. And then you question yourself in terms of how am I going to approach it, working with this, right? Because it's not, I would say, stereotypical Gel Roc beats, but it's funny because I was listening to the album, I was like, dude, this is like vintage Gel Roc. And when I'm usually in your albums, I'm like in battle mind state mode and I want to
Yeah,
work out and shit. And then this one was like there were tracks that were like, like very full of wisdom in the sense like coming from a father type figure, but it wasn't like I'm
yeah,
babying you. It was like, yo, these are the lessons that I went through, and I'm telling you too
yeah.
as well. Like you talk about nobody's perfect, and I'm a perfect example of that. I had my
Oh
battles
yeah,
with bottles, and I was like,
yeah,
like
yeah,
it was like real, man. It was like, dude, showing your diary, and so I was in a different mindset. I wasn't in a battle mode anymore, right? And you fluctuate between that, but there were a lot of times I was like, dude, he's like dropping gems, dude. So. Which is why I told you that I think this is probably, well, at least one of my favorite albums because I like that kind of stuff too. So,
yeah. I
um,
mean, I felt like Lost Control had a lot of that same
okay,
writing. I mean, it's called, the full title is Lost Control: Buttons, Fades, and Memoirs, and I felt like the memoirs portion of it
okay,
sort of had that approach. I sung on a couple of joints on that album, and I'm always just trying to push the limits. I love the
yeah.
challenge of taking on new beats, and
Yeah,
so
something
I try to
good.
I try to approach things in a balanced manner. So I think I got my the raw bars are definitely on "Out of Style, Out of Service," the title track with
Okay.
Brevi. You know what I mean? I put her on that song specifically because I just felt like it had too much testosterone on it.
Yeah,
I was just,
yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
needed that balance, right?
Uh-huh.
And there's a great song arrangement by Ariano. So
Yeah,
yeah. And then, the wisdom thing is like, man, I mean, look at the beard, bro. You know what I mean? We're there.
yeah,
I am a father, and so these things
yeah.
just pour out of me
It's
because
real.
Lord knows my kids get tired of me on the soapbox. So, it's like, if I might as well just put it on
Yeah.
tape. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I probably failed to. I didn't get a chance to listen to Lost Control. I have listened to a lot of your past catalogs, so I'll have to go back and do that. And so, just I think this was my first exposure to you doing that, and I like it. I like it a lot, man.
Word up, appreciate it.
So really cool. And then you mentioned Brevi too, and I'm skipping all over the place now. But every time I figure out, or I think I figure out, I got a good understanding of like LA hip hop scene and music scene. I'm introduced to like somebody new. So I wasn't familiar with Brevi's work, and I was like, damn, that video, dude, she fucking
Yeah,
murked it, bro.
murked it, bro, murked it.
Oh
Yeah,
my
she's
God.
yeah. I was actually texting with my siblings earlier, and my sister was asking, "Who's Brevi?" And the same thing. And
Yeah.
I generally, um if I'm gonna have people on my record, there's definitely the homies that are on the records, like but I always try to find like probably what I would think is like the rare baseball card type
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah,
feature.
yeah. That's
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
well said.
Like,
Yeah, I was like,
like
where did she
like
come from? Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So like Brevi's been she's another one like Ariano, super talented.
Okay.
She's just been doing her thing in the cut for a very long time.
Yeah.
She I think in the last 10 years, and I don't want to misquote, but at least in my mind, in the last 10 years, she really started to land some really dope collaboration. She was on
Okay.
the Cypress Hill
Ooh.
Elephants on Acid album. She did,
Damn.
I think, 3 or 4 joints.
Okay.
She was on the Cloaks record singing some vocals.
Wow.
She has done some stuff with Wiz Khalifa and Delocksmith and a lot of people.
Great.
Like she's been around, and
Okay.
she has solo work that is really dope, just like
Wow.
Ariano does.
Yeah.
So I think like obviously we're talking about Out of Style, Out of Service that comes out April 3rd,
Yeah.
but Lost Control was, I think, my opus in terms of overall maturation as a writer, and a lot of live instrumentation on that record.
I
And
gotta go.
Paris Zax's production is amazing. I mean, that's a double vinyl record.
Okay.
It's a deep record, so you should definitely peep that one. But
Yeah, 100%.
I didn't know how I was going to stay on that plateau or even try to challenge it. And
Yeah.
because the song with Ariano, Heavy as the Crown, it wasn't just about his vocals, it was also about Paris Zax, the producer of that album,
Okay.
his beat, very like rock elements and all of that in it too, right? And hip hop. And then Ariano, I knew, just had that's the space he lived in
Yeah.
and lives in. So I was like, it would just turn into a natural progression, basically, from doing that song towards the end of that record
Yeah.
to carrying into this new record.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing different about this record, um, that also contributed to that like headspace that I was in writing, not just his production, but it was the first time in probably 20 plus years of doing music where I had just gotten laid off of work. I was on the tour, and every record I've ever done, I've always been like working.
Yeah.
And this record, I was unemployed and just the
Uh-huh.
first time with a clear head, and I
Focus.
was
Yeah.
knocking out songs like every day. He would send me a beat and I would send him a song back. Like
Damn,
the
that's
only
crazy.
reason the only reason it took like uh, even long as it did was because of features, of course. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Fair
Like,
enough.
you know how that goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So not everybody's on your timeline, but I'm thankful for everybody that's on this record, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like all your albums, just since I've known you and even way back, you always give the fan their money's worth. It's never like, me, I'm always like 7, 10 tracks, five, depends on like what I got going on. But I love the time that you put into giving them like a full soundtrack for that album,
Yeah.
16 tracks, and just really, yeah, really, yeah, really good, man.
I'm old school, and it's difficult for me to do anything less. Like I always, even I try to, like, in the last 2 records, this one and Lost Control, is like, oh, I'm gonna try to adapt to the times and do songs that are like 2 minutes. It doesn't work out for me. I
Yeah,
gotta,
set in
even
your
if it's
ways.
2 verses, it's gotta be like this well constructed hook. It just, and all songs end up being longer, and records are longer, and I can't conform to it too much. Like I'm surprised the Love and War Stories project was, you know 8 tracks or whatever it was. I was just like, that was the first time I did that, so that was kind of cool too. But
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
traditionally on the longer the longer listens. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it too, man. And then also, I mean, y- like writing a verse is like, okay, it takes some time, but then for me, at least in my opinion, writing a double time verse takes even longer too, right? So just yeah, you can tell you put a lot of time in this project for sure.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, and then moving on really quick to your albums too are always good in terms of having great art. Can you explain the cover real quick? I love the skeleton with the nun praying and turntable and the colorisms on that. So, talk to me about how you went about deciding what the cover was going to look like for this project.
Well, Brain A did the artwork, and he is a really dope artist. He put
Yeah.
out he did a bunch of covers for a
Mhm.
bunch of dope artists in
Okay.
the last like 2 years. He just went on a a spree of doing all types of artwork. And
Yeah.
he did my Lost Control album layout,
Okay.
and I loved what he did. And I
Yeah.
said, hey, I have this other project. You want to get involved? And that's what he did. So in terms of the artwork, man, I think I don't know. I just I feel like skulls are like, kind of like tattoo
Yeah.
art, but the color brings things to life. So I like the element of like skulls, but having life through the color
Yeah.
variations, and
It was dope.
yeah. And actually, the cover of this album, minus the text, I
Hmm.
got tatted right here on this pec.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, I liked it that much.
Yeah.
So
But
it's just
you always have great art, man, and just I would say too, like when you guys press products, especially yours too, just always it's good, solid. It's just not the I'm going with the flimsy vinyl just to have stuff on vinyl. Like it's
yeah.
like a masterpiece, man. Like, you put a lot of time and just investment into the products that you release too.
I'm very big about you know thinking about I grew up listening to records, my grandmother's records, my mother's records, and my uncle's records, and I grew up in like vinyl culture, so to speak, and all different genres of music, a lot of classic rock, and I would always be looking at the liner notes, and so that's what I try to create. So like this record,
Uh-huh.
out of style, out of service. So the last one, Lost Control, was a double vinyl gatefold, and it had a lyric photozine
That's why,
book.
man.
And so this one, we're doing a photozine insert booklet, but it's not going to have lyrics. It's more dialogue about each song. We do a breakdown, me and Ariano, from our different perspectives.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, yeah, it's dope. And so I'm always thinking about the listener, and trying to give them an experience beyond
Yeah.
the digital shelf that everyone's shit lives on.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. It's an experience, and that certainly is. And I certainly felt that once again on this project. And I know you do have an affinity for skulls. I think you did it for the Mass Men cover too, where it was like a
Oh
skull.
yeah, yeah. Toozer from CBS did that cover.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Man, crazy. Yeah, yep. I forget, man. Yeah,
I
there's probably
pay
more
attention.
skulls. Yeah.
Yeah. A great album, and we'll walk through some of these tracks real quick. So Style Service, the intro, you had two guys talking about it. And I usually like these are important, right? So a lot of people they just like pay attention to the tracks and try to determine what the themes are. But I know as an artist, when you plug in interludes or when you plug in intros,
Intros,
outros, yeah, yeah,
outros. Yeah,
it's calculated. It's not just placed there
yeah,
just because it sounds
yeah.
cool.
Again, it's like
Yeah,
you're right. Like it's trying to set the tone for the album,
yeah,
for a listener, right? If you're just like a skip through, then that's cool too. Hopefully we've got the singles that are in there.
yeah,
But from track one to the last track, yeah. I at this point, it's like people ask me often, they're like, it's crazy you still do this. And it's kind of like the intro says, it's like style is a form of expression and an extension of your personality, and it's what
yeah,
we do, right? It's like, nobody goes out and buys dope kicks because you're not fucking thinking about style, right? You
yeah.
fucking
That's
get
right.
dope kicks, and your
Yeah,
fucking shirt, your hoodie's got to fucking match. You want to be fucking styling, so
yeah,
it's not
yeah,
just
for
that, but
sure.
it's like, you know what I mean? It's like I'm very much about style, as we rap, and styles of music, and so as I try to tap into these different, lanes,
Mhm.
um, that's out of style. We do this out of style, and I do this out of service, because that's just, like you said, there's plenty of trials and failures that I've experienced, that I've come up with all these gems and nuggets, you know what I mean, that I think are helpful. So, you
Yeah.
know, service, do it out of service, man. Style out of service.
Yeah, it reminds me of like a score for a movie. So kind of like the intro to the book or something. But
Yeah.
yeah, I do like it. I like it because it's calculated. I know there's a lot of thought into it. When you create the intro and the outro and the interlude, did you pick that at the end or did you have those kind of picked out
No.
already?
So I'm I have to, like, the way my brain works is like, we did the first cut, and then we did the second cut, and by the third cut, my brain is already thinking, I already know this. I'm not doing this just to do random songs with
Right.
Ariano. I
Yeah.
know I'm doing an album,
Yep.
so I start formulating the idea, the overarching idea. And I think by the third song, I was like, I want to call this out of style, out of style, out of service, or out of service, out of style, out of service. And then he uh he was like, okay, dope. I have some dope ideas for like, samples. And I was like, let's do an intro. And he just, as a collaborator, knew what to do. He just, yeah, man. It's kind of like once we put the identity on it, we both started, it's like we were both working on a puzzle. And he was like,
Yeah.
I got this piece. And I was like, I got this piece. I'm like, oh shit. And like we just, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? We're stacking songs and interludes. And I was like, dude, this is blowing my mind. And like
Yeah.
I got the artwork. I got this, you know what I mean? It just sort of came in really dope.
Yeah. Hey, another thing too, I noted and I had it just written down in my notes later on in this sheet I have. But what I also wanted to commend you to was for the mixing and the engineering of that. Was that
Dude,
Ariano too?
Ariano. Yeah, dude.
Jesus
So
Christ,
so
dude.
usually depending on the project,
It's good.
the producers generally like to mix their stuff,
Yeah, yeah.
which makes sense. But a lot of people actually go to like the homie D-Ski,
Yeah,
and he
yeah, yeah,
masters a
yeah.
lot of stuff, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
D-Ski
yeah,
fucking has
yeah.
mastered like hundreds of records, dude. You
Yeah.
know? And but Ariano is his own artist, dude, and he mixed it and mastered it, and like he was doing certain things with my vocals, and I was like, that was like another, you know, like we used a lot of pitch bending on this, and
Yeah. Yeah.
as soon as we started doing it, I was like, okay, now this song in the middle, do it on this one, and then do it, because I was like thinking about the whole project, right? So
Yeah.
I was like, now we have continuity,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
though
In
it's kind of
the sound
sprinkled out,
vector.
yeah, in the sound, yeah. But he definitely has a definitive sound, the way he mixes and in layers.
I
So
like it.
I was really hyped to that too.
Oh, dude, really good. And then well, first, I'm a fan of using scratching, and you use it sparingly a couple times, but I also like the select scratches. I didn't know, and I know you work with D Styles a lot, but was that Ariano too, the scratching that you
No,
used?
that was actually awkward from the Cloaks.
Okay, all right, man.
Yeah,
Man, it was great. Well placed too as well. So just
yeah,
yeah, a lot of nuggets throughout this whole album, which just causes me to do a lot of thinking when I'm listening to these albums in preparation for the
yeah,
interview. But really great. We move on to Parasite, and again, this is like I'm like, okay, this is the first song after the intro, which is also an important thing when you're putting an album
yeah,
together. And so, yeah, they're taking notes so copious. Don't make that mistake so erroneous. Again, just the man just the messaging and the type of things that you're saying through the song was great. And then we talked about, like you said, all the pitch bending, and then in this song had the effects midway into your first verse. And this is where I noticed like the mixing was freaking crazy, man. And so,
yeah,
uh,
yeah. I think this was the first song that we recorded for the album,
okay, oh man,
and
banger.
so I would say that we were sort of, it was like for the first beat that I got from him,
Yeah,
I was like, oh, this is kind of, you know different, eclectic, and
yeah,
I was kind of going through a bunch of stuff in my head at that time, and I felt like I was really like stuck on this idea of parasites, like parasites are like the new everything, like social media draining your energy. It's
mm,
these energy vampires, people that like
yeah,
just consume your energy. And so like I wanted to do a whole album called Parasites, and it ended up being just the chorus to the song.
yeah. It
And
was
I
cool.
go my going the yeah, and I just thought it was cool. I was just like,
Yeah,
this song takes me somewhere. So
yeah,
let me just do it. So it was sort of just like a loose improv song, and
yeah.
but we thought it was a banger. And then things got serious as I started getting, into more production with them. I was like, okay, we're about to turn it all the way up right now.
Oh yeah,
So
you
I thought,
certainly did.
I was a bit stubborn on making that the first song
Oh,
after the intro,
okay,
because I knew that it was a heady joint.
okay.
I knew that it wasn't like the traditional, oh, it's got to be the banger to reel them in. I was like, no, this is going to be the one that if they're this far in,
Okay.
it's a think record, you
Okay.
know? Like I'll bring you up to speed when I get to those bangers when you get into the album, right?
That's a good point.
Like,
Yeah.
but I wanted to draw the listener in because again, I'm thinking about it from making an LP. Like you're going to put this record on the turntables and listen to it.
Yeah, certainly. And then yeah, and so this was like, okay, I kind of expected, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get, what I expected, the vintage Gel Rock battle, break your head stuff off that I love. And then those lines that I mentioned previously before you had mentioned that. And then you mentioned life is a mirror, it gives you returns. And so like my brain is like switching back and forth. Like I was like, oh shit. All right, well, what are we coming
Yeah,
into? And then I noticed the mixing and the effects. And then so it was almost like a buildup for a movie, right? Like, okay, hey,
yeah,
we're gonna travel into the climax. And then we jump into Streetscape where the beat is freaking crazy, and then I get that double time flow, and then I'm still thinking it's still like that vintage Go Rock, and I'm still thinking Hollywood Mirage. Everybody got a stage plot, and then the hook. I was like, whoa, man! Like the delivery,
yeah.
and I was like, okay, man, this is some different type of shit, man. So
The
maybe my
crazy thing
fault.
is,
Yeah.
yeah, the crazy thing is, uh, you know, in my own skin, I feel like I know that may feel new to the listener, but really what it is like we're all in a different place now. Like, but if you really know my material, at least as familiar as I am, nobody's probably that familiar, I guess, but like even the hook, I feel like I've already done that style before. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Okay.
Like maybe not a lot, but
Uh-huh.
I didn't feel like it was new. I just felt like it was new energy over a new beat in a new
Maybe.
year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then there's a little bit of pitch bend on it to give it a little bit more effect,
Yeah. I
and so
love that
that I
shit, man.
yeah, I knew that the energy would be different. I
Yeah.
knew the energy was different because of the way I attacked the beat. And then I knew my boy All City Jimmy was gonna do what he does. And
Yeah.
I love what he does. I mean, I'm a fan of his stuff. So
Yeah, and I thought that your features for this album was really great, and I have on here just like, holy cow, man, All City Jimmy, and I mentioned that comment about like I feel like I got LA hip hop scene figured out.
yeah.
And I'm like, who is this dude? He is freaking
Oh my
crazy.
God. Oh,
And
dude, he's
yeah,
he's a Lamert Park legend. He's
okay,
he's 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 formerly known as No Can Do
okay, I
from
gotta look at
Project
this
Blowed.
up.
Yeah,
Oh
if you
man, okay, super dope.
oh dude, if you look him
Super.
up as No Can Do,
Okay.
you're gonna see him. He was like one of the first grind time battle rappers who was like
Oh
dominated that
man,
shit.
yeah.
And so when he evolved as an artist, he
Okay.
used to host he was the host of dude, I am totally tripping right now.
Okay.
Um I can't even believe I'm Low End Theory, the club in
Okay.
LA. Daddy Kev's
Uh,
Low End Theory with
okay.
D Styles as the resident DJ,
Okay.
no, DJ Nobody as the resident DJ,
Man.
and No Can Do as the host.
Oh wow.
And this is where like Andre 3000 was showing up too. And,
Damn.
people were, this is LA history. So, like, even after the early Blow days for No Can, he went on to do the hosting for that, which sort of evolved him as an artist. And
Okay.
then later on, he became All City Jimmy, where he started making music and
Yeah.
kind of departed from, because, a lot of like battle rappers from that scene that you don't see a lot of battle rappers evolve into like actually doing music. And
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
also, so when he changed his moniker to All City Jimmy, I felt like he became more of a man instead of the youngster from the Blow that we grew up, that we
Yeah.
watched him grow up, and we knew he was a beast.
Yeah.
We knew he was special. So, fast forward, he's got his own catalog under All City Jimmy, and we had never done anything. And I was like, maybe a posse cut or something, but I was like, I got to get with him.
Yeah,
So
I gotta look him up, man. He is
yeah.
wow, man, just that song alone, and part of me just for not having like that whole picture or understanding of who
But that's why I was trying to do, right? So like,
it was.
I'm trying to bring the rare baseball cards into
Yeah,
my universe,
yeah.
so to give spotlight and much respect to those artists.
Yeah, he certainly has a fan in me now for sure. Great track, man. And then we move on to a Detune Radio. And so you mentioned that, you had issues clearing some of the stuff. Was this one of the songs too?
Bro, no. So that those two that I had never had this issue in the past, number one.
Okay.
So like when that happened to me on that last project,
Okay.
it put the fear of God into me about this album And this song specifically,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
not getting
yeah.
clear, bro. I had backup plans for this song
Yeah.
that you wouldn't believe. Like,
Oh wow.
yeah, I had like I don't want to say what my backup plans, but they were pretty high hopes of what strings I was gonna have to pull to make happen.
Yeah.
But the sample cleared, and here we are.
Yeah, and I say that because when
You
I was
know it.
well, no, so I can't act like I did, man. Like
Oh,
I've
you
heard it
didn't.
before, but was my wife. She was like, "Dude, I know that song." I'm like, "Oh," and then she's like singing the words, right? Is it this? And I said,
Yeah,
"Yeah, that was it." Because you said the words "Karma Police," right? And then
yeah,
she knew it. So she's got a bigger scope of like music that she loves, and
yeah.
it was
I
it was
love that.
great, man. It was a unique song, and your take as a role model, I really dig the lessons. And this is where, I started pulling out like the wisdom, gray beard coming out in you. And again, my fault for not listening to Lost Control prior to this. But yeah, this is where I'm like, man, dude, like I'm just appreciating the journey in the album
Yeah,
and
I think
where it's taking
you,
me.
I think when it came to a couple of the songs that are of that writing style
Hmm.
on this album, um, one of the things that I do as a writer is like I try to when you're trying to come with the raw raps and be the most creative or the hardest and this, that, and the other, whatever your mindset is when you're on attack mode and trying to
Yeah.
be dope, when you hear tracks like that, it's like I'm not trying to do all that. I'm trying to write a dope song. And so sometimes it's just pulling from general wisdom
Yeah.
that and
Mhm.
it's like I'm not trying to be the most far-fetched with the bars because I think you get further mileage with just good knowledge, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and plus that resonates more with people like your wife. If she recognizes that sample like you said,
Yeah.
then hopefully I'm going to keep drawing her in with the verses as
Exactly.
opposed to because you know what they say, they're like unless it's like a woman that is like really about like hardcore hip-hop shit,
Mhm.
it's like the females don't really care for the cold bars.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
mean? They
Yeah.
don't care for the
Yeah.
cold bars, bro.
That's right.
So it's like in order to get to a place where you feel like your music is evolving and starting to resonate with different audiences and more mature audiences. Like I'm older, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Now in my rap career, it's like your music should hopefully start to reflect where you're at as a person too. So that's sort of like the thought process behind some of those joints that I approached and was like, yeah, I got something for this.
Yeah, yeah, and again, the lyrics that you were writing on, they're really good, man. They're moving their mouthpiece, unaware of the karma police, out of key, even with auto tune, and then the "no one's perfect" line that I talked about in the beginning. Yeah,
Yeah. I've been saying that to my kids for probably 20 years.
I like that.
Literally.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
Dude,
yeah.
I
Uh,
probably even said that on a song 20 years ago, but nobody ever heard that song.
yeah.
That specific line. Like I in my brain, I've said that for 20 years. That's like a Gelism right there, or a dadism right there for me.
You're talking about the karma police
No,
mouthpiece
no,
one?
no, no, that nobody's perfect and I'm a perfect example.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I like that, man. Yeah, because it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's a play on the words, man. It's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, it's like everybody knows nobody's perfect, but like that other part of it is where I put my where I feel like I coined the phrase.
yeah. I like
But
it,
yeah,
man.
the Karma Police was just that sample. I
Yeah,
didn't want to call it Karma Police. I
yeah.
wanted to call it detuned radio, which is where I
Yep.
derived the idea of you're out of key even with auto tune,
Okay.
and I knew that like the listener is going to associate that with these rappers that use auto tune. And cool, if they catch a stray, they catch a stray. And I'm not even opposed to auto tune because who uses it is All City Jimmy uses it, but I certainly wasn't
Yeah, people know how to
saying
use
it.
it well.
Oh, people know how to use it. He's like a master at it. I
Yeah.
love how he uses it, by
Oh,
the way.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
know
I'm
what I
not a
mean? It's
hater. I'm not
different.
a hater on that.
Yeah, I'm not either, as long as you have substance. But
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
don't have substance in you, you're trying to get over on me.
That's
Nah,
right.
bro. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that ain't gonna work. So
No,
yeah,
that's
that
a
was
good point.
if you got substance, you know how to use it, then that's dope. You're
Yeah.
using it as a tool. But if you're using it and you don't
To
got any skills,
compensate,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, you're trying to overcompensate. You can't sing, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's all
exactly.
you got.
Exactly. That's what it
You
is.
know
Yeah, no, that's
that's some
the
sucker shit. you
No,
know?
yeah, that's right. If you use it as a tool, that's my same opinion. But yeah, exactly. If you use it because you fucking sing like shit, then yeah, that's not good. So, but it was yeah, well used for sure.
So like in just real quick, like to finish that thought on this song, and we can
Hmm.
move on if you want, is like so like, you know, my brain is like I address the rapper piece because like the way I'm writing off the hook, they're that sample. So I
Hmm.
address that out of key auto tune because of the detune radio thing,
I
right?
like it.
And then it kind of goes into like again, people that are negative and just have a negative mouthpiece or just like, you know, don't have any humility whatsoever,
Yeah,
you know. And there's a lot of that in rap. So
yeah,
another
sure.
piece about this record, I was like, man, I'm so tired of hearing everybody just talk about how dope they are and fucking, you know, no regard for the listener
Yeah,
ever. It's just constantly I'm untouchable and uh I'm bulletproof and I'm fucking this and I'm that. And it's like, dude,
come on.
easy,
Yeah,
easy, bro, easy.
yeah, and I like that. And you remind us too. And so that was another thing that I pulled out, confident but humble at the same time. In LA Rap Noir, it's like, hey, I'm my own day one. I like that line,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, that's like,
yeah.
yeah, I don't need validation. And then again, still schooling folks with Jewel of the Nile, schooling all these juveniles, and yeah,
My
man.
one of my favorite movies as a kid, you know, I gotta always say some
Well,
old school reference,
yeah,
Jewel the
yeah, yeah,
Nile.
yeah, yeah. I know it too as well. But yeah, that's what I thought too. Just it was again that vintage Gel Rock, but then the lessons, man, I really appreciate it, and the humility, as you mentioned, was clear. So,
The crazy thing about that joint is like my son heard this record during the making, and he that's like one of his favorite songs on the record,
oh no,
primarily because he was like bugging out. He's like, I can't believe you said fade in like Mazzy Star. You know what I mean? And he was that's like he loves that song, you know. I mean, I don't know who doesn't, but you
yeah.
know, the little things that people pick up on. So that was dope.
Yeah, no, it's a great track, and then the reverse sample, the cuts, again, well done by the team overall, and just a good texture to the song. Out of Style, Out of Service is the next, the title song, probably one of my favorite beats, and then the double time flow again. Yep, and so yeah, just the hook was great, man. We do this out of style, just out of service. The
Yeah.
video is sick, and then I mentioned, my appreciation for Brevi too. And man, just great song. And you did that on purpose, right? I assume you made that the first video because it is the.
No, actually, the we have a video. That's the second video, second
Oh,
single. The first
okay.
video is Streetscape with
Oh,
All City
no.
Jimmy.
Oh,
Dude, you
I
got to
gotta
check
watch
that
that,
video. That video
dude.
is wild.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
sick. It's
That
a really
deserves
dope video.
that deserves the video for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh man. So yeah, great song. I really enjoy it. And yeah, what you have done, you've achieved your mission in terms of like the features that you got on there. I'm going to check out Brevi, All City Jimmy. And it's great, man. Shed some light on some other amazing people that some of your fans may not be familiar with. So well done also on that. Excited to talk to you about song number 7 because Mestizo is also a friend too as well.
yeah.
And
It's
you
his birthday today.
two, oh man, all right,
Yeah,
good. Yeah, dude. And you guys always bring it on the music. And so tell me about the making of this track too. He is another unique
dude.
individual that kills it.
Dude, Mestizo is a good brother. Happy birthday, Mestizo.
Mhm.
He, you know, we just came off of doing a song for his record.
Yeah.
And you know, obviously I was in the middle of mine. I was like, okay, now we got to do one for my record. And when I heard that beat, you know, Mestizo is probably one of my favorite rappers when it comes to hearing double time because you know he's got a different approach.
Yeah.
It's like he's kind of like a nomad, right? Like he's from
Yeah.
Chicago, but he's from the Bay and he's from LA, and you know
Yeah.
him. JJ's from everywhere, so he
Mhm.
has like this his own brand of double time. He's got like a little bit of twang, but his vocals just come across differently. He cuts the beats differently
Yeah.
in his delivery, and I love it. I'm a fan of it. So I
Yeah.
thought I was going to get him to do that on this.
Okay.
And so that's why I was like, oh, I can't wait to hear him on this beat. And
Mhm.
and we were going back and forth, and I was like, I knew I was on one. I was like, the shit that I wrote for this, bro, you
Uh-huh.
know. And
Yeah.
I sent it to him, and he was like, damn, bro. He was like, I'm gonna have to approach this completely,
Shit. That's the best.
and he does a whole different thing that's unpredictable for Mestizo to do, and I'm a fan. I'm still a fan of what he did with it. Like, damn, I thought I was gonna get him murdering the chopping with me, you know.
Yeah.
And no, but he did his thing, man, and I just loved how he approached it. Three different styles on the beat, just murdering it all
Dude.
over.
Yeah. He does like yeah, you're right, man. He does like, he does this like singing thing and then he like
Yeah,
slurs his voice when it's yeah, it's very
I've
unique,
never
man.
the styles that he used on this song. I had never heard him use.
That's awesome.
At least not in the first two verses. The third verse, he starts to rein it in a little bit more with like a little more traditional mestizo.
Yeah.
But
Great.
but he's a styler. That's why I
Yeah.
love what he does, you know.
Yeah, yeah. At some point, man, I could see a project between you two. You guys definitely mesh really well.
We
Uh,
got a folder of beats picked out.
oh,
I'm
damn.
gonna knock on wood.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. So hopefully that comes to fruition, but I think you guys combo up pretty well too as well. The hook is great, never losing sight, on point with the aim, moving up the hill, pushing through the pain. Both amazing MCs that I appreciate, and so yeah, really dope. One line I wanted to mention that I really enjoyed: "Get taken out like a ovary." That was pretty funny too as well. Good song, and good to see that he is on there. The next track too, Divine. I just came up on Zane One's music too. She's really
Oh,
sick too.
Divine Space, yeah.
Yeah,
She's an amazing MC.
she's dope.
Probably like the epitome of an MC.
Yeah.
Like, and she's old school. Tunnel Rats is a heavyweight crew.
Okay.
And we just shot the video for that
Oh,
song.
damn. Yeah, I can't wait to see
Yeah,
that one. That's
yeah,
great. Yeah,
yeah.
so good one. How did you decide in terms of like her being on that project? Have you done stuff with her in the past or
I've never worked with her. I've always been a fan of her pen. She's
yeah.
been extremely active in the past couple of years. The Tunnel
Okay.
Rats just dropped a new record, and
Okay.
she's just fucking murdering shit. So, you
Yeah.
know, it's like, well, I just, yeah. And plus, again, it's kind of like there's a hip hop is a lot of fucking braggadocious testosterone,
Yeah.
and I feel like I need uh more texture, more vocals and different range
Yeah.
of
Good.
voices, and that's what sort of makes things gratifying for me, is trying to do things differently. And
Yeah,
like I said,
I like
the
it.
rare
I like the
baseball
sound.
cards, because she's another one you probably weren't really familiar with, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I just like learned about her like within the last like maybe year and some change, but to see you both in the track was very exciting. Is she from LA proper or is she from LA County?
LA, yeah, Whittier specifically.
Oh, crazy, man. Whittier's
Yeah,
got
so
some people,
Tunnel Rats.
man.
Oh, yeah, me,
Yeah,
Mike
yep.
E times two, AWOL, the
Yeah.
Tunnel Rats, Pigeon John can claim Whittier.
Whoa. Is
There's,
Pause?
yeah,
Is he from Whittier too? I know he lived.
Pause can claim Whittier too. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I know he lived in Whittier for some time. I don't know where he lives now, but yeah, he can claim Whittier too.
Dude, yeah, Whittier is always
Whittier's a main
coming
vein.
up, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
So wow, man, dope, man. Yeah, shout out to you guys, but great track that y'all put together. Not the same. Talk to me about that one too. I like the combination of the hook
yeah.
in the
That's
verses,
Ariano on the
man.
hook. That's Ariano on the hook.
Yeah.
That's one that he already had something in mind and had something, arranged for. And I was like, oh, what's good with this? And he was like, bro, do it. And the crazy thing is, uh, yeah, that one, he's talking about some deep shit, right? He's talking about, some personal loss. And I did that song. And then the day after I finished recording it, I kind of felt very sentimental about the track. And then I get a call that one of my best friends passed away.
Oh man.
And it was Cirque, who was the Abalano Records label head, like the founder of the label.
Oh wow.
So, in some weird way, I kind of felt like, um, that song was just meant to get purged from me in some weird way. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, it was good in the sense the messaging was good. It was like it was hard, but don't be hard. You said this is not a sad song, even if the tear ducts
Yeah,
smell. I was like,
you know
okay,
that that
all right,
that
like straighten up, man.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's like one of those things. It's like we're as men, we're not supposed to be, you know, emotional and all of that, right?
right,
So, but
right.
so that was like my gut check. Like,
Yeah.
as I was writing it in real time, I'm like, you better control this shit,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, that's exactly what I felt when I heard that line. Okay, hey, dust that
Yeah,
shit off, man. Like,
yeah, exactly. Dust it off and keep moving.
yeah.
Yep,
But I like it too. The messaging is great. I used to be angry, but I saw what it made me. An older Gel Roc reflection, and then it's not where you've been, but it's not where you've been to, but it's where you're at right now.
it's
And
not where you've been; it's where you're
yeah,
at. And I'm thankful.
yeah.
Yeah, thankful. Yeah, thankful for that. Whatever the hell I say, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, so great, great, man. Just a lot of lines, and so that's why I have that feeling, And so I'm just like, I'm really feeling like I'm in a book slash movie as I listen to this. That's why I mentioned that comment that, like, man, this is probably like one of my favorite Gale Rock albums of all time. So really good.
appreciate that.
Yeah, 100%. And then Critical Intelligence, the interlude. Any special reason why?
That's just Ariano, man. He was entrenched in the concept of the record by this time. We're halfway through the record, and he found
Yep.
another sample that sort of accentuated the messaging. He's like, I got another idea, and I was just like, fuck, this is perfect. And I needed a bridge. Like we had the beat
Mhm.
to go from a serious track to the next one, which is not serious and a little bit more upbeat and probably a little bit more, I don't know, upward potential of
Yeah.
just whatever crossover value it might have in big dreams, because I think that's the next song, right?
Yeah, it is, and I think, and I also credit you for being a good hook writer too. I like the way you write hooks too, and this was one of them too that I really enjoy. Everybody wants a little taste, still get paid, still get the slice, count the cake, get the papes. Like, oh man, dude, he like fucking ran that hard, man. Like, it was
Yeah,
good, because sometimes it's like hard to think like how to follow on that hook, man. But it stayed on theme really well, and yeah, this was another good one too. Yeah,
this
yeah,
one this one was like
I love the flow.
automatic writing from beginning to end.
Okay.
I didn't overthink it. It was just like the pen started and it didn't stop until the song was done. This one was really dope. It was a good stream of consciousness on this
Yeah,
one.
this one is it reminds me of life lesson that I really stand by is like I can't stand when people get mad or hate on others in terms of like the work that they did not do, right? Like and
Yeah.
you say a couple things that
Oh
remind
yeah.
that yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
can't
I say
stack
something about like
yeah, if
you
you
can't
lack
stack wins if you
discipline.
lack discipline. I love
Yeah,
that line right there
dude, yeah, and
because
then
that's what
can't
it
call
is.
shots if you have blind spots, and that's like the
Yeah.
the being able to self actualize that, hey man, I got flaws too, and so yeah, that's the thing that really pisses me off, man. It's like, well, fuck, man, why you complaining? Do the work that dude does, man. So
That's why I was in the same mindset. Like you could tell, like there's thematically like, and that's my thing is like I find these different ways. Like if I'm not over something that's eating me up, I'll find different ways to approach saying the same thing. Like parasites
yeah,
kind of relates to this. It's like people like they'll take your energy away from you with
mhm,
their negativity, and
yeah,
then you go to the other song where I'm like talking about the karma police, right? Well, like that first verse, I'm still talking about, you know, whatever. I just address it, and now I'm saying it again on Big Dreams. I find a way to still attack that same topic. You know what I mean?
I like it, dude.
So yeah,
Yeah, so that I appreciate too, and again, more life lessons for me as a as a fan of like that atmosphere type music where they do that a lot too as well. That was like the in and out that I caught, and I know you guys are all within that same circle too as well.
yeah. The thing about that, I guess when because you mentioned atmosphere, I feel like Slug is for whatever you think about. Slug's a Virgo and I'm a Virgo.
Oh shit, I'm a Virgo too.
You're a Virgo
Yeah.
too. When's your birthday?
September 7th. Yeah.
Oh, that's the same day as Cirque's, my boy that passed away. Cirque, yeah,
Oh
that's dope.
man.
September 7th. I won't forget that now, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm the 21st.
Oh shit. Yeah. Okay. Dope. Yeah. Sep 7, man. And Slug's birthday Sep 7, right too, right? And I think
Is it?
yeah, and Nas is a Virgo. All good picks, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there's some depth to that.
Yeah, I definitely ride with that, man, for sure. But yeah, it was good, man. And just like the way that you did it, again, it's like, okay, it's not that normal like braggadocio, man, fuck you, you suck. It's like, hey, well, if you're in this condition, it's because
That's
you
right. I'm a
hey,
manifest destiny guy for sure.
that's right. That's right. Hey, yeah, you talk it into existence. So I believe
Yeah.
that kind of stuff too as well. So that does a lot. So yeah, great track. And then Still Standing featuring Pigeon John, the legend too as well. Love his stuff. And so you two together again, great.
There's live bass on that, live saxophone. It's just mixed so well by Ariano, man. Like that,
Dude, he got
that's yeah,
skills.
yeah,
Yeah. And then again, this is like you again, like being hard, but reminding like what you've been through. I took the long time around to get around, and then I've been broken and reborn. So it's not like just like I'm here. It's like, hey man, well, I fucking put in the time. I paid my dues.
yeah,
So
yep.
yeah, it's the stuff that that hits me as I listen to it, you know.
if
So
I think about the things on a continuum, Lost Control was essentially about what it says. It's like basically you can look at it as like damage control. You know, like I had went through a divorce, and there's a song called "Mary Divorce" on there. There was a lot of things that I was trying to, you know, my grandmother had passed. I was trying to reconcile that. I was really close to her. She raised me on music, so that Lost Control record was dealing with that. And so when you get to Out of Style, Out of Service,
yeah.
it's more like a healed phase.
Okay.
It's more like I'm already past that, but now I can talk about it in a place that's like, you know, let me kind of talk about it from a different lens. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, yeah. So
It's the
progression.
post. Yeah, that's right. Not while you're going through it, but now
Yeah,
as
yeah.
you
I'm on the other end of it.
yeah. Yeah, I like that, man. Again, just yeah, I appreciate it, man. Probably as a father too, and just being an older guy. That's the stuff I like to hear. I relate to it, but still love the battle stuff because that's what I grew up on. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good mix. Good mix. I'm getting everything that I want from that. So great track. Destination was really cool. And what I like you do here is you play on the word strip, right? So you're just like right. So it's like
Exactly. I want to do a video for this where I like,
yeah.
I stick with that,
Yeah.
visually though.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love it.
exactly.
That dude, that's like my favorite shit. This is actually one of my
Yeah.
favorite songs on the album. Destination's one of the crazy thing is the song
Mhm.
is really about the journey. It's really about, having fun, pushing through the pain. It's all about now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of references to just it's like, we're drinking in the snow, and it's like all about having fun now.
Yeah.
But I called it destination, even though it's not what it's about. It's really about the journey.
No, absolutely. And so I laugh because I love that kind of stuff because
Yeah.
you
It's a
think
setup. It's a setup.
exactly because it's like okay strip right so right
Yeah.
what
You
else
think you know where it's
right
going. You think,
yeah
yeah.
yeah yeah and then I was like oh brilliant dude down the strip down on the strip and I
Yeah.
said damn he like fucking yanked you back real quick
Yeah.
and so a good example to this song that I will compare it to is what Sage Francis did to his song Crack Pipes right? Because he mentions that, yeah, I think crack pipes, right? The smoking stuff. And then, he's talking about, something I love strong enough to crack pipes. So this is a perfect example of that song too. Was I had something else in my head, and then you pull it out. You pull
I
the
love that
trigger.
you called that out, dude. That's because there's like it's like a little bit of, I don't want to say shock value, but it definitely, like, you start to lean in a little bit to something, and you're like, what the hell? This would have pulled a rug,
Yeah, I'm a
you
dude.
know?
That means something, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So well done. I like that. And again, same thing. We make our own way and put it on display. Everything is earned, not given, right?
yeah,
So
yep,
great song. But I had to call that out. It was good.
yeah, tight.
Yeah, 814, ain't no God with no goddess. Every day tougher than leather, the struggle, just what yeah, it's like no repeats, no no repeat second chances. Again, just the life lessons, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
of a scarred and battle tested warrior, and
yeah. And
yeah,
his,
good.
yeah, I that beat, man. If you sit in a ride, or you have a sound system with low end,
Mhm.
that one it will hit you different. If you're in a club, if you're in any kind of atmosphere where you could feel the music, that beat will hit you differently. That song can hit you differently. If you just listen to AirPods, you're only getting the cerebral aspect of it.
Mm,
But when you feel the physical aspect of that,
yeah,
it'll
which is
take you somewhere
another art
different.
to it. Wow. Okay.
It'll take you somewhere different.
I'll see if I can listen to that out loud. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a good point because that is something too I appreciate when the producers do stuff when they fade from left to right and just the mechanics of the engineering.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
okay, I will take that for action. It's a great, yeah, it's a great track, and thank you for pointing that out. As we get to the final tracks of the album, Beautiful Outlier, I like that too, man. And this one, the message that I took from it, for me at least as a listener, was the message of being fearless, right? In one specific line you mentioned, let's run through these blind stops and never let life stop, right? And so
Mhm.
for me, that's just like, okay, yeah, hey man, you got to, can't be scared, and if you want, don't hesitate. And some people they want to do things but never do it, and so for me, that was the biggest thing I pulled from this song.
Yeah, man. That this song is like, again, this is post Lost Control. It is the climactic song
Yeah,
where I'm talking about my soulmate, and these lyrics could be my vows. They might as well be my vows.
yeah,
And so I always kind of put it on the line, you know.
mhm,
So and I think that for me, um, that defines being a good songwriter, not just being a hard MC, but as an artist, I want to be well rounded. You know what I mean? I want to be able to do, be able to approach different production, just like I did on this record. So to me, that's again, it's just not being a one trick pony as an MC. I could do that. I've done that, but as an artist, I'm trying to push boundaries, and then you got to be real and vulnerable at times. So yeah.
yeah. I think you do a good job of it on this album, right? It's like, hey, this is me, and I mentioned the perfect example line too, and I think you open yourself to be vulnerable, but I think you get the confidence where it doesn't mind. It's just more, I'm
Yeah.
sharing so that you can grow and we can grow, and that's what I felt through this entire project. So
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and listen to Lost Control, and we'll have to chat about that one too, because if that was what you thought was the initial transition to who you are today, then I need to see that because I know you for many different mindsets,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
And that's a double LP. What's crazy is Parazax is an amazing producer. There's a lot of live instrumentation there. D Styles absolutely murks that record. He brings a whole nother dynamic to the record.
Yeah.
He's like scratching jazz horns that make the hooks. I mean, dude, it is
Nuts,
an
man.
amazing record. Lost Control is an amazing record. So for me to get to this record and be able to contextualize it in the manner that I have, where it's a progression
Yeah.
and still on par, if not above. It's really up to the listener and where you're at,
Yeah.
at the stage of life to figure out which one. But my point in Lost Control is there's side A, B, C, and D
Yeah.
on the double vinyl, and there's continuity through all of it. But it's almost like side A is very traditional hip hop. B is like it gets a little jazzy and experimental with some crazy shit. C might get a little more soul, and D is like rock. You know what I mean? Like rock. It's pretty dope, man. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I'll definitely go back to that. And I think too, in general, as you look and you analyze an MC's timeline and you look at all their projects, there are certain projects that are very important. So it feels like Lost Control is that one. I thought, I missed a step and jumped into this one. But yeah, those are those critical albums. Like Slug's got this one where he transitions from underground MC to Lucy Ford, and everyone's got these like milestone albums.
yeah, there you go. That's a good way to put it. It's a milestone record, and then this one is like it's hopefully, you know,
Yeah.
on to the next. For the trajectory keeps going. Meanwhile, I'm gonna keep stabbing motherfuckers with Exalt the Anti 3 coming out,
Oh, Jesus
and
Christ.
Cloaks 4.
Damn. Yeah, man. Yeah, the way that just all your projects, man, is really great. And I'm never gonna ask you anytime we interview what your favorite project is because they're just all dope, and you have to love all your kids the same way, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So so
yeah. Or
but it's
do
great,
you?
man.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Which I won't put you on the spot on that because
No,
you
I
yeah,
think you can love them all the same, but you probably love them differently.
that's right. Yeah, you appreciate the journey for each one and certain
Yeah,
things about it. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I can't wait to hear the Exalti Anti, that next release, the third one, and then the Cloaks, another. Yeah, another amazing series that you run, but in in totality, hey, great release. As a fan of you for a long time now, feel like to me this is one of your best projects, my
I
favorite.
appreciate it.
A lot of pleasant surprises and very intricate in the way that you engineered it, put different things together, and all just the resources that you used to build this Voltron. So to me, just that's on some Jedi Master shit, man. I really
I
appreciate.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
This is the first dive into the record, man. So I appreciate you listening
Yeah. Heck yeah.
and giving me the feedback that you have, man. And it's good to hear.
Yeah, beat selection was really dope, man. So with that, before I give you some time to close us out, it is my tradition to ask some fun questions at the end. So let's do that real quick. All right, people want to know Gel Roc's first job ever.
TJ Maxx.
Oh, okay. I'm a Ross dude, man. All right.
Oh, you say Ross?
I worked at Ross. Yeah, yeah. It's like my first
Yeah,
job.
TJ Maxx, dude. Yeah, I think man, I think minimum wage was like 4.75 or something crazy, dude.
I worked for that price at one point. Okay, a most underrated athlete in LA sports of all time.
And LA sports of all time, most underrated. Shit. Probably Baron Davis.
Oh, okay. All
I
right.
don't know if he's under. I think he's underrated. I
Yeah.
think he's a legend, dude. I mean, but I thought I think Baron Davis is the shit, and he raps now. You
Oh,
know that, right?
no,
You
no.
didn't know that?
Whoa, I gotta check it
Oh
out.
my god, dude, are you serious? Dude,
No.
Baron Davis, what's his rap name? He's dope. His rap name is like there's a lot of NBA rappers, but he's like he's from LA. He's got to be dope.
Oh,
You know
wow.
what I mean? What is his rap name? It's something dope, man. I'll text you. But
Oh, okay.
Baron Davis is the most underrated in my mind out of LA.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's hard, and I could see that, right? Because everyone talks about LeBron, Kobe, XYZ, but
You're gonna get your mind blown when I send you a Baron Davis record.
oh shit. Okay. I did hear Kobe's 12-inch though. So yeah, okay. Baron Davis, crazy. All right. Hey, top two places on your bucket list to travel to that you haven't been to yet and why?
Top two,
Hmm.
Philippines number one, bro.
Oh, okay.
I
Awesome.
that me and my lady are planning a trip to the Philippines. I mean, we that's what I've told her. We haven't actually planned it, but I gotta go. I want to go this year because who knows if the world's gonna be around next year.
All right. Good.
And then the other place would be probably Italy.
Oh yeah, dude, that sounds dope. Yeah, good choices, man, for both. All right. Okay, a final question before we close this out. Favorite holiday and why?
Christmas.
Yeah.
Just because the family's all together usually. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you can anticipate seeing family. Thanksgiving, not so much. I think Christmas is just a little more. It's like the end of the year. Just seems like I don't know. That's what it is for me.
That is definitely one of my favorites for sure, man. Awesome. Well, hey, man, thank you again. Again, I appreciate all the time that you have given me to talk about this album and even the albums in the past. I appreciate it. Very valuable to me. And again, just LA legend, hip hop legend in general. But thank you again, man. Great project. I'm excited for everybody to hear this Gel Roc project. But with that, I turn the floor over to you for some final words. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
I appreciate you very much, man. Like I said, you're the first person to break down the record with me, and when that happens, it gives me time to kind of reflect. Like, oh man, he kind of heard it in this manner. So I appreciate you. I appreciate the time that you took to just listen to the record and break it down how you did. You're an amazing rapper. You do your thing, man, and I love seeing what you do all the time. I loved being on your last. Well, I don't think it was your last record, but the record that we did, that joint we did for
Thank
your record,
Yeah,
that
I'm
record was dope, man.
grateful.
That's a dope record.
Grateful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a dope record, man. Like I'm proud of that joint. I'm proud of that. That's a dope record. So
Yeah.
thank you for that. Other than that, man, shout out to Ariano who produced Out of Style, Out of Service.
Bravo.
Um, Awkward DJ Awkward who did cuts. Awkward from the Cloaks. Big shout to everybody on the record: Pigeon John, Zane One from the Tunnel Rats,
Yeah.
Mestizo,
Woo.
Brevi, and All City Jimmy. Man, yeah, big ups to everybody on the record and everybody that supports what we do.
Sir. All right. Well, with that, hey, I'll keep in touch and we'll get this out as soon as possible. But I am excited for the actual physical release. I can't wait to purchase it, man. Yeah.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
All right. Enjoy your weekend.